Losing my shit and wanting to press charges on my sister? I am a 16-year-old living with my family, which includes my parents, my elder sister who is 20, and her 2-year-old daughter. For as long as I can remember, my elder sister and I have had a strained relationship. Over the years, her toxic behavior and narcissistic tendencies have made it nearly impossible for us to get along. She has a habit of involving herself in everyone's issues, offering her unwanted opinions, and berating anyone who disagrees with her. However, when the tables turn and someone tries to offer their input on her life, she immediately shuts them down, telling them to stay out of her business. Her treatment of our parents is nothing short of appalling. She constantly brings up events from years ago, even as far back as 10 years, to blame them for her current issues. She has stolen from me and from my parents multiple times and shows no remorse for her actions. Despite all of this, my parents have gone above and beyond to support her. When she had her daughter, they practically drained their retirement savings to help her, providing not only financial support but also stepping in to care for her child. Yet, despite their sacrifices, she repeatedly claims that we never help her or support her in any way. This constant lack of gratitude and outright manipulation has put an enormous strain on everyone in the family. Yesterday was a particularly explosive day that highlighted just how toxic things have become. The incident started with my sister yelling about something downstairs. Curious and concerned, I went down to see what was going on. She claimed that my cat had jumped onto the counter, gotten into a banana, and somehow nearly stabbed himself and her. While the situation was bizarre and sounded exaggerated, I apologized sincerely, acknowledging that the cat was just being playful. However, she twisted the situation into an attack on my responsibility as a pet owner, lecturing me about how I needed to take better care of my cat. She went on to imply that I was neglectful and suggested that I didn't even want the cat, threatening to send him back if I didn't shape up. I was stunned and furious. Her accusations felt unwarranted, especially considering how much care I put into looking after my cat while juggling school responsibilities. I reminded her that my cat had nothing to do with her and that she had no right to decide anything about him. That's when the argument took a darker turn. She deflected the conversation by accusing me of treating her daughter as if she were my responsibility. I fired back, telling her that the reason I feel compelled to help with her daughter is that she's a neglectful parent who spends more time texting random men than caring for her child. I know it was harsh, but after years of watching her prioritize everything but her daughter, I couldn't hold back. She snapped. She got in my face, screaming something I can't even remember because I was so enraged. Before I could react, my mom came into the room trying to de-escalate the situation. But then my sister slapped me across the face. I didn't even think, I just reacted. I punched her on the side of her face and she retaliated by pulling me down and shoving me into the open dishwasher. There were knives in the dishwasher, and the danger of the situation became immediately clear. My mom shoved her away and screamed at her, demanding to know what was wrong with her. My mom, who's usually calm and collected, was livid, shouting that we don't hurt people in this house, especially not in front of her granddaughter. My sister, instead of reflecting on her actions, doubled down. She screamed back at my mom, bringing up grievances from years ago and accusing my parents of treating her unfairly compared to me and our other sister. She claimed they didn't love her as much, which is patently untrue. My mom reminded her of how much we've supported her, even when she made poor choices, like getting pregnant on purpose at 18 and not telling anyone until we were living abroad in Mexico. Despite all of this, my sister had the audacity to threaten that we'd no longer have access to her daughter. Her threat didn't land the way she probably intended. My parents, especially my mom, have been the primary caregivers for her daughter, providing everything from financial support to emotional stability. My sister doesn't have a job, and her lifestyle revolves around relying on us and occasionally the men she's texting. If she were to withhold her daughter from us, it's unclear how she'd manage on her own. After the fight, I was so overwhelmed that I retreated to my room and called my dad, sobbing. I told him everything that had happened, including the slap and the subsequent fight. When my dad came home, he confronted my sister, tearing into her for her behavior. He made it clear that if she ever laid a hand on me again, there would be serious consequences. My sister, predictably, tried to deflect, bringing up a fight from years ago to justify her actions. My dad wasn't having it. He shut down her arguments and reiterated his warning. Meanwhile, I've been left to grapple with the emotional fallout. I've told my parents and even my older sister that I want to press charges against my sister for assaulting me. However, the lack of concrete evidence complicates things. Without proof, it's unlikely that we'd be able to pursue legal action. Despite this, I'm deeply unsettled by the idea of continuing to live under the same roof as her. Her behavior has made me feel unsafe, and I'm constantly on edge, wondering what might set her off next. Unfortunately, moving out isn't an option for me right now. My other older sister, while supportive, doesn't have the financial means to take me in. So, I'm stuck in this toxic environment, trying to navigate the situation as best as I can. I've decided to focus on school and prioritize my mental health, but it's challenging when I'm constantly walking on eggshells around my sister. Looking back, I've questioned whether I overreacted during the fight. Should I have let her comments slide instead of confronting her? Maybe. But after years of enduring her toxic behavior, I reached a breaking point. Her constant criticisms, manipulative tendencies, and refusal to take accountability for her actions have taken a toll on everyone in the family. It's not just me who's fed up. My parents are too, though they've been more patient with her than I think she deserves. As I write this, I'm trying to come to terms with the situation. I know that pressing charges might not be feasible, but I'm determined to set boundaries and protect myself moving forward. My parents have started to put their foot down, which gives me some hope that things might improve. However, I'm also preparing for the possibility that my sister's behavior won't change. If that's the case, I'll have to find ways to cope until I'm able to leave this environment for good. For now, my focus is on staying strong and finding small moments of peace amidst the chaos. Whether it's spending time with my cat, diving into schoolwork, or confiding in trusted friends, I'm doing my best to move forward. And while my relationship with my sister may never be what I wish it could be, I'm learning to prioritize my own well-being and stand up for myself when necessary. Let's read some comments. First comment was, "Okay, but like OMG, that's straight up assault. Pushing you into a dishwasher with knives? That's actually terrifying. You're totally NTA for wanting to press charges. She's a grown adult hitting a minor, and that's never okay. Don't let anyone guilt trip you. You deserve to feel safe." She replied to the first comment. "I blocked my door after because I was scared of her chasing after me when the fight was over. I didn't want a round two because I was terrified. I never hyperventilated and cried like that in my life after a fight. It was the worst feeling of adrenaline and fear. I can't press charges without consulting an adult and them to do it for me. She's guilt-tripped me in the past before and has complained to me that our parents are so manipulative, then she does this shit. I don't want to live where I live anymore. I don't even feel safe or comfortable. This made me feel a little paranoid." Second comment was, "I get that you're frustrated, but violence is never the answer, even if it's in response to something as awful as being slapped. Your sister is clearly toxic and manipulative, but press charges could make things even messier. I think you need to focus on protecting your peace, maybe even from your whole family. They should be backing you, not enabling her. But sometimes, cutting ties and creating boundaries might be the healthiest option, no matter how hard it is. You deserve respect and understanding, especially in your own home." She replied to the second comment. "I agree that I do deserve that. My parents can't charge her without evidence, plus proof that she's a danger. We don't have any proof other than witnesses to her behavior, so I understand it can be messy. I've practically cut myself off from her and made boundaries. I don't even speak to her at all unless forced to. When I'm getting attacked and I could have gotten hurt. I think punching her was the most appropriate response I could have given at the time. It was also just out of instinct. I didn't know what to do. I was angry but also afraid I was being dragged down in the process. She pulled a muscle in my arm and left a scratch because I called her out and called her a bad mother. I understand that isn't the best answer, and I certainly agree that violence is not the answer, but in a situation like that, what would you do? Take the hits and just lay there? I'm not trying to be rude, I just feel stressed. I'm scared to leave my room now because I'm afraid she may attack me again for something she disagrees with." Thank you for listening the story to the end. If you enjoy our videos, so don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Have a good day, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do it and hit the notification bell icon to stay updated with more shocking real-life stories happening around you.